Hey, real talk, if you're watching this, you've probably already felt that something's missing in your screen experience. And that's exactly why the S90F feels like it was meant for you. This is for the kind of person who's stopped settling for flicker, washed out blacks, or motion that feels soft instead of sharp. You watch more than content, you feel it. You notice detail. You notice when color feels flat. You recognize when your gear is holding you back. Before you go further in your head, take a moment and check the current price and stock. Panels like this don't stay steady forever, and hesitation here usually turns into wishing you jumped sooner. There comes a moment when you know it's time to upgrade. Maybe it was watching a dark scene where you couldn't see the texture. Maybe motion and sports felt blurry at the wrong moments. Maybe your old TV just stopped pulling you in the way it used to. That quiet frustration isn't random, that's the signal you've outgrown compromise. The first time you switch to this, the difference hits you instantly. Blacks feel infinite instead of gray. Motion stays clean even in fast scenes. Colors don't just show up, they have depth, presence, and emotion. You stop tweaking settings and start living in the moment. Confidence returns to every scene because the picture finally behaves like your eyes expect it to. In real usage, this changes how your room feels. Late-night movies feel cinematic, not tiring. Fast motion games feel fluid because every frame keeps up with you. Sports sequences stay crisp instead of blurring when things speed up. Even casual browsing in everyday shows feel sharper, like someone turned up the clarity you didn't know you were missing. It's not about chasing numbers you'll forget. It's about how effortless everything looks. Once you feel that smooth motion and deep contrast together, going back feels like stepping into yesterday. If you're thinking twice about pulling the trigger, don't wait for stock quirks or random price shifts. Screens this refined tend to get scooped up fast once people notice what they're missing. You might wonder whether all this power is actually worth it. That doubt fades the moment you see how much texture and nuance shows up in every scene. What you thought was sharp suddenly looks soft next to this. Here's the part most people don't expect: you start watching differently. Not just longer, but with more appreciation. You notice composition, you notice shadow detail, you notice how motion feels guided rather than smeared. It changes the way you watch, not just the quality. The picture feels alive instead of passive, motion feels locked in instead of fuzzy, colors feel rich and intentional, your room feels like a proper cinema, every scene feels built with purpose. It's a big screen and needs thoughtful placement, and premium panels command serious consideration. Eventually, you break out of that endless comparison loop. You realize you already knew what you wanted deep down. At some point, choosing becomes simpler than overthinking. If you've moved past compromise and you want a display that finally feels like it matches the way you watch, this is that upgrade. Check availability, trust the instinct that brought you here, and enjoy owning a screen that actually feels like a step forward every time you turn it on.